Yo, what is up, you guys? I am back to review and recap Season 2, Episode 4 of The Mandalorian, also known as Chapter 12, The Siege. Now, The Mandalorian returns back to Navarro to reunite with Greef Karga, played by Carl Weathers, and Cara Dune, played by Gina Carano. When you return to Navarro, now, last time we remember it, it was completely set ablaze by the Stormtroopers and Death Troopers, actually, and that battle they had on that planet. But they've rebuilt it. They have schools, and it's a nice little town. Cara is actually there's the marshal there. So yeah, things are looking good for that town again. Now Mando gets his ship repaired there and drops Baby Yoda off at a little school. Obviously with Baby Yoda, he kind of starts things now, especially when he's hungry. So this time he steals cookies from another student right across from him using the Force. Clever baby, clever Yoda. But yeah, after he drops him off, Mando gets talked into blowing up an Imperial base by Greef and Cara. Accompanying them on their trip is the blue guy from the first episode, the first, like, Season 1, that Mando, you know, the guy that Mando captures and freezes into carbonite. So he tags along with them, and when they arrive at the Imperial base, they find out that it's still up and running, but they still, you know, pursue their mission of blowing up the base. And when they get inside, they see I'm still trying to piece together what it was, but they were cloning something or making something. I've seen people guess that it's either Palpatine, it could be Snoke, not sure. The thing is, if it's Snoke, I would be kind of disappointed, because that means that they're tying in Mandalorian with the new Star Wars trilogy, and I think it's best that they stay away from that trilogy and stay closer to the more of the prequels and the original trilogy instead. So, I mean, if it's Snoke, it's fine. I mean, I'll be a little bit disappointed, but it's not anything too big, so we'll see. But yeah, he basically finds out some type of plans. They find out that Moff Gideon is still alive, so that's a surprise to Mando and them. Then they escape the base, blow it up, and they're pursued by Imperial troopers on speed bikes, which is an awesome chase sequence that takes place. And then, you know, the TIE fighters got to come in as well, which Mando blows up, and Baby Yoda is accompanying them in the passenger seat, just enjoying the time of his life, you know, screaming and shouting and fucking throwing up right after. So it was a great time for that baby, obviously. I think he enjoyed the ride of his life. And it turns out that one of the people repairing his ship turns out to be a spy for the Empire who puts a tracker on his ship. Alright, then you see one of the Imperial officers. She alerts Moff Gideon about the tracker and everything. Moff Gideon's in this little room. I guess they're making fucking I'm trying to think, the Death Troopers, the black ones. So yeah, and the episode ends there. So it's terrible news for Mando moving forward, but I think this is where the intensity is starting to pick up for future episodes, because I mean, we're already halfway there in the season. And the crazy part is that when you look at the Mandalorian trailers, everything that we've seen is from the first 4 episodes. So we are going into uncharted territory here with these last 4 episodes. But you know, with that, looking back at this episode, it was a really good episode. I liked it. You know, Carl Weathers directed it, you know, Apollo Creed. So bit surprised, you know, that he was able to do such a great job with this episode. I mean, you know, I really came away impressed by it. It went really well with all the previous stories, all the previous episodes as well. Another thing that this episode does that was just like the last episode, it ties back into previous Star Wars incantations. One of the X-Wing fighters is talking to Cara. He knows that she's from the planet Alderaan, which was destroyed. And he asked her if she lost anyone, and she says she lost everyone, which is a pretty dick question for him to ask her, because I mean, I'm pretty sure seeing the whole fucking planet, you know, explode, you would think everybody was lost. But yeah, I came away really impressed. My biggest disappointment was the fact that, you know, we all thought that Ahsoka Tano was going to come this week, especially, you know, in the last episode when they mentioned Ahsoka Tano, and that's where Mando was planning on traveling. So I guess he took a bit of a side quest. I think we'll see Ahsoka Tano next week for sure. I'm hoping for it. I'm really excited. She's probably one of my top 10 favorite Star Wars characters. So it'll be really exciting to see her on the screen for the first time, played by Rosario Dawson. Alright guys, that'll be it for this week's review and recap of this episode. If you like this video, be sure to like, subscribe, comment down below what your thoughts were on this week's episode, and How excited are you guys to see Ahsoka Tano next week? But yeah, I'm DeAndre, and that'll be all.